This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, the time is 6:01. We'll call the regularly scheduled meeting of August 5th of the Select Board. 3 out of 5 members present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anybody wish to participate in citizens speak? Okay.
Actually, can I?
Sure.
Say one thing? I know you're Lucy Dolan, Town Clerk, 10 Strong Road, Southampton. I know you're going to get to it later on for the 250th, but since Chris isn't here, I mean, Cindy can probably update you, but what? Okay, well, I'm probably not going to stay either, but just wanted to let everybody know August 23rd is a celebration, lots of stuff going on. The merchandise is still for sale in our office, and come and see us. We have glasses, t-shirts, hats, bags. There's a band on the 23rd. There's food trucks. There's lots of stuff going on. So, and Celebrate Southampton is the week before, August 16th. So hope everybody can go that too. There's lots of stuff going on there. All right? That's all. I just wanted to say.
Thank you. All right, appointments and resignations.
I move that we accept the resignation by Dan LaValle from his several town government positions effective July 7, 2025. Those would include at least the Select Board, the Concom, and the Planning Board, I believe, if he's still there. And he's moving out of town, which is why he can no longer serve. He's definitely been an all-positions player for a number of years, and he will be missed, not only because he leaves a lot of vacancies, but he was pretty good at covering a lot of ground. So, thank you, Dan.
There's a motion made.
Seconded.
And seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved. Town Administrator's report.
So for the last couple of weeks, the big issue has been a rate increase from the Hampshire County Group Trust Insurance, which we'll discuss more in executive session. Essentially, it's a 20% rate increase effective October 1st, which is going to be pretty devastating to our current budget process, but I'll save everything for executive session. The tree warden, building inspector Ron, he took care of a tree on 149 Russellville Road. Dan Abrahamson, who I mentioned last meeting, he's officially accepted the position as municipal energy manager for the 3 towns, Westhampton, Southampton, Williamsburg, and Hampshire Regional. So he's actually a graduate of Hampshire Regional as well, so he should be pretty familiar with it. He has a great resume, which I included, and he's hoping to visit each community within the next couple weeks. So.
Southampton, Westhampton, and
Williamsburg and Hampshire Regional. And then the Zero College Highway Project Committee, we met last week with Dodson Flinker, made a lot of progress, had really good discussions, a lot of input, and looks like we've narrowed down a few different options to kind of start refining a little bit more with the hopes of having a public meeting again in the fall, so, which is actually a couple weeks away, I forget.
And I know we're going to talk about it in executive session, but the just for data points, July 1st, we already saw a 20% increase in the health insurance. So this 20% really means a 44% in a 90-day window.
Yep. Yep.
Any other questions or comments on the administrator's report?
And that's our largest line item is insurance. So.
Are we? Yeah, we're going to circle back. Nothing.
Okay. Any select?
Can I ask?
Sure.
Scott, is there a reason why the insurance is going up so much, or?
I have my own.
With that meeting that was held that 200 people attended. Was that a public meeting?
It was.
So the reason they stated in that meeting was roughly, am I paraphrasing correctly, a depletion of reserves? They probably should have made some plan designs change in advance that they held off on.
Okay.
They also had 4 years of 0% or negative increases, 4 out of the last 6 years.
For the insurance?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which is, you can't do that,
okay, thanks.
so.
Thanks, John.
Yep. Any select board updates or reports since our last meeting?
The relevant one is the Open Space Committee met, and they're getting in high gear to ensure that we do a abbreviated update for our open space plan, open space and recreation plan, which would expire in a couple of years, but we can extend it several years beyond that and remain eligible for the wonderful state grants we've had for open space and recreation. So the Open Space Committee is busy about that. Also discussed was a letter received from Holyoke Water Department, and I'd like to coordinate with the chair, pro town administrator. The Open Space Committee would like to respond to the water department. It's a general outreach letter that is apparently the same as been sent year after year, encouraging us to care for the health of the watershed so that Holyoke can drink clean water. But there are several specific requests of us to keep them abreast of current affairs, and there are some, including land that we have conserved and land that is yet up in the air, might be developed within the watershed. So I'd like to make sure, if there's interest, that that letter gets the highest sort of level of support. But Open Space Committee certainly wants to respond with some of the practical details about watershed protection. I think that's all to comment on.
Okay. Any update? Mirman? No, I haven't had any meetings in the past 2 weeks. All right, so next item, Senior Center Building Committee, discussion, next steps. Dennis Vogel, co-chair of the committee.
Dennis Vogel, co-chair of the Senior Center Building Committee, 139 Fulmer. We as a committee have spent the last 3 or more years doing our diligence with the gift from the Parsons estate. We have gone through a process of actually selecting a building site and then going through the process of finding it's not applicable, actually having another one now on Zero College Highway. But everyone in the committee now feels like we need to try to move forward with our plans for a new senior center. So tonight, we're asking you to consider calling for a special town meeting for this matter to be put before the public. This town has 34% of the citizens of town are over 60 years old. 42% over 50 years old. Southampton has steadily been increasing its older adult population. 3,100 residents are now over 50. Our membership is currently for individuals 60 and over, but we would like to extend our membership to age 55 or 50, if possible, if we had a new facility. And I would like to ask Kate and some help from Scott to discuss some further steps. Kate?
So the Senior Building Committee, they voted a couple of weeks ago on moving forward with it. The select board won't be voting tonight on that. This is more like an informational thing because we're going to have to move pretty rapidly if there is going to be a special town meeting, a special election, just because October, November, December is a very difficult time to hold anything like that. So I think the latest would probably be a November election, which would place a special town meeting in late September, early October. We also have a lot of other items that we're going to have to put on it, so it's kind of better to start doing this now, so we can also add some of the other things, because September is kind of a little bit of an earlier time for a special town meeting than we've had in the past.
So the request tonight is a special town meeting?
Well, it's just a discussion.
Or it goes, I realize that, but if I heard the ask was to schedule a special town meeting.
It's the ask.
Not the ballot.
Right.
Right,
And
okay,
then
right.
assuming it passes with the
Then
debt
ballot,
exclusion.
right.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Kate DeSanto, Director of the Senior Center, 146 Fulmer Road. Just have a few data points related to the Senior Center. Accessibility and inclusivity are two vital priorities for our desire to build a new Senior Center. The current Senior Center is limited in both size and functionality, and we're doing Southampton residents a disservice by not being able to provide the myriad opportunities possible with the larger Senior Center building. Because the Senior Center consists of only one activity room, programming opportunities are limited within our space, as we are typically only capable of hosting one program at a time. Maximum class participation capacities are also being met regularly. We currently use the select board room, second floor conference room, and have had to request space at the library and the First Congregational Church when facility conflicts arise. Our National Senior Center Month takes place every September, and this year's NCOA theme is Powering Possibilities, Flipping the Script. We, along with more than 10,000 senior centers across the United States, are working to challenge the outdated stereotypes about aging in hopes of flipping that script. Our senior centers play a vital role within our local communities and often provide a one-stop shop for critical resources and socialization opportunities. These include meal programs, energy and food assistant programs, health and fitness and wellness programs, transportation services, public benefits and Medicare counseling, employment assistance, recreational activities, educational and art programs, support groups, and volunteer and civic engagement opportunities. I would like to also say that we have been thriving in all of those areas since I've been here at the Senior Center. The opportunities to create intergenerational programming is also extremely important for the future planning of the Senior Center. We hope to engage local youth groups, family members and friends, college, vocational, and regional school students, and individuals from across the community to participate in impactful connections with members of the Senior Center. These intergenerational opportunities are mutually beneficial and are invaluable experience for all involved. We feel that the longer we wait, the more expensive it will be built to build a better future for our seniors in Southampton. We know that the costs for the project are ever increasing. Our goal, and we have already started to research and work towards alternative funding sources to help offset the costs related to this project. This includes fundraising through our Friends of the Southampton Council on Aging, applying for grant opportunities through state and federal funding opportunities, working with our local legislators for funding allocations, and working with our assessor's office for tax exemptions, credits, abatements, and opportunities throughout the state. So we just want to thank you for your consideration in getting this on the ballot. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Scott, anything to add?
Yeah, so I did want to just go over the numbers really briefly. So a couple months ago, we received a updated building estimate from PM&C, who did the original one. This will be posted on the website, but ultimately it came in at about $10.9 million in hard construction costs. It doesn't include anything, permitting, architectural, engineering. So this is the actual physical part of the building. I did a quick back of the napkin cost estimate. So we have the construction cost. Make sure you can see that. Great. So we have the construction costs at $10.9 million, and it'll be roughly about 30% in soft costs on top of that. So give or take a little bit, but it'll be about $3.2 million for the OPM and A&E, architectural engineering. And then you also have other costs that are involved in soft cost. So just for some examples, furniture, fixtures, marketing, relocation costs, insurance, commissioning, legal, permitting, a lot of different items. So that actually would take up about another 15% towards the construction costs. So we're looking at a total project cost of about $14.2 million. We do have the donation from the Parsons estate, which is, hopefully the markets will still keep going. That's right around about $2.5 million donation. So after the donation, the amount to be borrowed would be $11.7 million. The actual tax impact, if we were to do over 30 years on that 11.7, and this is without interest, would be $155, about $160 for the average house valued at $430,000. When we do interest, I'm still waiting for bond counsel to do it, that number would go up to about $281, give or take a little bit with the interest involved. So depends how we borrow for and what interest rates are looking at. So that's how we would get to that. And also, just to give you a quick update, so we have been working, there's a couple different options, and these have been public, but it looks like that we're going to be focusing on these two. Option A, this is still in the works, so this is still preliminary, a lot of stuff's going to change, but some of the concerns with the group was making sure that we were able to phase it in. So we have a housing phase, we have a commercial phase, and we have a section for like the public safety complex and also the senior center. So we are narrowing down where the senior center would go on Zero College Highway. And also reducing costs by not putting in the back with an extended driveway, making sure it doesn't interfere with other development, making sure it's accessible and shared resources with the public safety complex, such as parking and septic.
Could I just slow you down a minute? Maybe I'm suffering from the heat. You're talking about two possible arrangements on the land, and then you transition to the principles driving how we got to here. And I'd like you to reinforce and slow down why we've looked hard at the relationship between the public safety building and the senior center, and any and all opportunities to save money, increase efficiency in land use, and thereby maybe even improve the serviceability, but enable it to go forward in a logical manner, relatively independent, because there are three different timelines with different challenges, but nonetheless with sharing facilities is one of the real prime factors.
Yep. So with the shared facilities, there would be shared parking, shared septic as well. But also one of the concerns with the Council on Aging and the Building Committee was preservation of green space and access to it. So there will be some design changes on these to kind of open it up a little bit more. Originally, they were looking at having it towards the back, but to reduce cost of having that, I don't know, maybe an eighth of a mile driveway, and if the senior center were to go first, the town would be responsible for that. So these designs allow us to move it forward closer to the street to kind of save some money. We know, the public safety complex is obviously going to be towards the front of, towards College Highway. We don't want to put that in the back, so.
So is are the 4 commercial lots now gone?
Nope, the 4 commercial lots would still be on, there'd be one main entrance, right, well, actually, right here would be the one main entrance.
Yeah.
And then this area right here would be mixed-use commercial. And then access to the greenway, following an old farm trail around this way.
So the building that is like the L shape, that's the proposed COA?
This is the COA on this one.
Yeah.
And this is the COA on this one.
So the other one would be the public safety building?
Yeah, and this is the public safety building right there. And right here. So it looks like this is probably closer to the one that we wanted to move forward with.
And is the housing proposed to be under the housing authority or just to a commercial developer?
It would probably be to a community
Local
builder.
control?
Yeah, we would have to probably do an RFP and have a couple, a nonprofit look at that type of housing.
But who would be the end use tenant? And I know it's off subject for the COA, but would it fall under the housing authority?
Probably not.
No, it would likely be a nonprofit owner, and it would be a development by that nonprofit community development corporation. But that all depends on who responds to the RFP. But if we want income qualified housing, that tends to be a specialty in terms of finance development. And so it's community development corporations like Wayfinders that we've been learning from as to how this might be implemented here. We've also heard that in addition to income-eligible housing, the community is very interested in opportunities for seniors who may not be wealthy but not income qualified. And so we're looking at how to keep all these options alive without delaying things, cutting off opportunities. or making something else more expensive than it need be. So let me add in that parking for the greenway, as well as that fairly long access path down to the greenway, is something that we want to make sure the town can afford in near term and not put off into a future phase.
And hopefully, as we've seen in other towns, you know, the building of a senior center can be a catalyst to development in an area. So this would likely be one of the first projects that would go on. It would probably be this or the senior center or the commercial, which could be two parallel projects going forward, and which, you know, whichever one goes forward first.
I'm thrilled to hear that you want to move forward. I think it's really important. I think it's equally critical that the public safety building find its way forward. Obviously, the challenge is value engineering and making sure that we make our case to the voters, that they're getting good value for their money, and that it's not just more and more and more, but there's synergy. And there is a concrete plan for creating community space and some kind of commercial activity. Nobody stepped forward and say, I really want to do this on that property. But we know what the community wants, so I digress. We're really trying to keep all opportunities open, and I think that it's important to move forward and demonstrate that we're being thoughtful in the process.
Is there an ask?
Not a vote tonight, but, you know, just, I think it's just a conversation about support for moving forward.
I move that we consider a special town meeting to take up this and other issues in late September or October, as the calendar may dictate.
There's a motion made. Is there a second for purposes of discussion?
Second.
Discussion? Any?
I'd like to put a flag in the sand. That's what I heard the ask was. And then Scott made general reference that there are other matters that might tweak the timing, but to have both a special and an election, which would be required, he appropriately signaled when the election might best happen and backed off an interval to the special town meeting. So I heard that. I'm in support of that.
So the motion is to call for a special town meeting in the month of September/October.
Yep.
Dennis, you had some proposed dates.
Dennis, you were standing up. Did you have something else you want to add before we vote?
Those dates that we looked at were September 30th for the special town meeting, and then the vote would be on November 6th.
We have a 35-day maximum that we can, or minimum, that we have to wait to call a special town meeting, and after special election. Right. And then after town meeting, it would be 48 hours for the select board to have a special meeting to call for the election. So it kind of builds into it. And obviously we're up against December is just a difficult time for everybody. November is also difficult. So really getting into late November or in December would not be preferable. And then we have 90 days that we have to do within a special town meeting.
Yeah.
So
are we confident it has nothing to do with this issue, but are we confident that the town accountant's going to have all the paperwork filed and we'll have everything back from the state so we can take the normal votes that we take at special town meeting? Or is this going to require the expense of 2 special town meetings?
We will not have free cash certified for September.
Right. Okay. So I'm sorry, the dates, again, just...
September 30th and November 6th.
Do you want to, before I call for the vote, do you want to amend your motion to match those dates, or you want to just leave it broad?
The minutes will so note, and we need to triangulate with other issues, but September 30th sounds great.
Okay.
I don't want to box in town administrator because he's juggling many things I don't know about.
So I'm going to vote to support this because I do think it needs to go to the ballot and forward. I think it's too early for us to set the dates, but They made the motion. The chair is not here today. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved.
I wanted to discuss something. We're going to also ask you to authorize a home rule petition for the senior property tax exemption program. Apparently, it was done in Easton, and I think Scott's passing out some. It basically authorizes the town of Southampton to establish a means-tested senior citizen property tax exemption. I don't know if, Scott, you want to discuss that anymore?
So one of the things that I came across in some of the different building projects across the state that kind of stuck out was in Easton, what they did was a senior exemption that would exempt senior citizen homeowners from the increase for a period of 3 years to be means tested. So you would have to, there were certain requirements. You'd have to be a resident of the town of Southampton for a minimum of 10 years. You would have to own your own home. It wouldn't be, you can't have rental property. You would have to earn less than $40,000 or $50,000 per year, and you'd have to have assets in less than, I believe, $423,000. We're still kind of looking at this, but it's just something for consideration. It did pass the town meeting in Easton and go to the general court for approval. So it would have to be a home rule petition. And obviously it would, the amount wouldn't be a huge amount and it wouldn't go on indefinitely. It would be, obviously a couple $100s per year.
So home rule petition intersects with state law. Where does it fit in our rules and regulations, bylaws at the local level?
It really wouldn't. It would just be a home rule petition for exemption for the seniors.
So our bylaw committee wouldn't really have purview on this.
Right. Yeah.
It's really all about the seniors and assessment.
Which is fine, but who's going to do the work? So someone has to get this in form for us and then bring it back before the select board with the breakdown and all the details.
Yep.
And I was thinking the bylaws committee, but if it's not the bylaws committee, who's going to do that work? Who's the author?
Myself and the assessors, as well as some support from Senator Vilas' office as well. A lot of this would have to go, actually originate from Senate Council to get the wording right for the town meeting to adopt. So it actually
It's no different than we did the home rule petition for Puzo's.
Yeah, similar, yeah.
Right. So when that came before us, it was spelled out in legal form.
Yep.
Right.
So Easton did 3 years, and we were hoping to maybe go for 5 years, which may then impact this Public Safety Committee work too. So they would be exempt.
So Easton did a 3-year, proposing that we look at a
Right.
5-year exemption specifically for the increase associated with moving forward with the
Right,
Council on
for-
Aging building.
For those few who fit the criteria.
Okay.
Is there any cross-tab of data that you can do to find out the number of eligible residents?
You did a little of that with Lucy one time, didn't you?
For eligible, that's something we need to work with the assessors.
I think income-wise, you'd get there. I don't know if you can get there by years of residency as another criteria. All right. I appreciate the initiative, and I would appreciate further development of the idea so that we can act upon it.
Still very preliminary at this point.
Yeah. But, so do I take that as you're making a formal motion to direct the town administrator to take this up, work with the appropriate people, and come back with a working draft and report for the select board?
Sure, I think it's unnecessary, but
Okay, well, if it doesn't get on the record, it'll die on someone's desk.
so moved.
All right.
Second.
Second, discussion, hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
And I will reinforce that I heard the town administrator say, working not only with the seniors, but also the assessors, because we
Yeah,
have...
they'll have to certify the list, the assessors. Because there's already an exemption that exists that
Yeah.
falls under this qualification. It's whether any more, yeah,
Yep,
yep.
that's where the impact will be measured. All right, good.
Anything else, Dennis? Good. Thank you. All right. Next item, chapter land withdrawal, 50 Crooked Ledge Road.
I'll jump in if I might, since I was the one that deferred this or moved to defer this last time. I was distracted by our form, which suggests that conversion out of Chapter 61B requires the landowner to provide an appraisal of their property. That's an error in our form, and we've recognized that we need to improve our process for dealing with chapter enrollment and then chapter withdrawal well beyond the particulars of the form. But the form is drawing our attention to the need. So the need for an appraisal is not the issue. The letter that Chairman Chris drafted to the landowner supporting their withdrawal is entirely appropriate. It makes reference to a calculation of the penalty tax to be performed by the assessors and included with the letter. So as far as the select board action, this would confirm that we also agree to waive the right of first refusal as first issue. All the supporting boards have recommended that. And then the issue is not at all about an appraisal. It's simply for the assessors to be confident that they've made the right calculation of the penalty tax. And since it's not called out in dollars and cents in the letter that Chair Chris drafted, I would like to move that we approve the letter that Chris drafted and waiver of first refusal and calculation of taxes performed by the assessors.
There's a motion made to waive right of first refusal, approve the letter drafted by the chair that she signed on our behalf, and that the assessors confirm the dollar amount.
Seconded.
Seconded. Any discussion?
I welcome the assessors to add it. Yes. We're all going to work on a better process. Apologies to everyone involved because we want to do it right. But figuring out what's right can be a little confusing. Thank you.
All right.
The vote?
On the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next item, which I think it's out of order on my, we have a request from Art Lawrence to declare surplus property of the scanner model FI 5530C2.
Who's the auctioneer? Are you the auctioneer?
No, we just declared it as surplus, and then it's available for Judy to go sell.
I want to dispose of this matter. I move that we just declare it surplus.
We move that we declare it surplus and that we follow established procedure on how to dispose of it.
Always.
Seconded.
Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
If I could
Prepare
just
your
say
bids.
something. So if anyone has a spare minute, take a look downstairs. We've finally cleaned out the hallway and we've got the studio cleaned out. We're hoping to use it as an office in the next couple of weeks. We're going to paint it. And we're going to move the conservation agent probably down there with some files and get that actually going again and have it as a professional workspace. So I want to thank Dave, our custodian, Randall, and all the highway department who did there was a lot of garbage. And Judy's been doing a great job just auctioning off stuff. We just got like a $1,200 bid on an 86 Chevrolet truck diesel. So she's been doing a lot of work. So it was a bad situation, but I think we're finally cleaning up all the stuff, so.
Next item up, Police Comfort Dog MOU, Chief Illingsworth. And this was a miscellaneous email that came in.
Good evening. Ian Illingsworth, Police Chief. I just wanted to update you on our Comfort Dog endeavor. The dog has met all its certifications, so it is a certified by an accredited entity, Comfort Dog. And we have the luxury of this dog being owned by one of our police officers who is willing to lend that dog to us as an asset to the police department, something that I think would be very beneficial, especially all things considering with some of the calls for service that police are expected to go on, and I think that this is a great asset and a great opportunity for our police department and the town. I sent the MOU to Judy, and I believe she got it out to you. Should everything go as planned, the only thing we'd have to do is if the board adopts the MOU, or if we need alterations, whatever it may be, at that point, we have to get some insurance. Just to remind the public and as an update, this is funded entirely through donations. It would be funded entirely through donations. We would need to insure the dog while it's an asset for the town. And we're working on that currently. And other than that, we're good to go, with the exception of once everything is complete and it becomes finalized, we have to outfit a cruiser, again with donated funds, to ensure that the dog has proper restraint and also safety measures for heat and cold if it's in the car. However, so long as the dog does not have to be alone in the car and the MOU is signed and there's an agreement, the dog can still be used for purposes. We just can't leave the dog alone in the car. The dog could be used for, should the visits be at the school, it could still be associated with the Southampton Police Department and used as an asset. It just can't be left in the car until a cruiser's outfitted accordingly.
Okay. Scott, has KP looked at this? And if not, have you looked at it? Are you comfortable with it?
KP has not. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I mean, obviously my main concerns are the liability for the town. As long as we have the insurance and also the cost of maintaining it. And I think it pretty much specifies that, the town will maintain insurance and provide the basic equipment like the car, but it won't be towards our general revenue. So.
Okay. Any questions of the chief?
I've been in support of it since you first brought the idea. This is not new. And again, for those who may just be tuning in, or turning in, if we've bored them to death, this is not a canine enforcement officer.
It's not. No.
This is a comfort dog, and so their entire role is quite different. And therefore, the fact that this is all supported by volunteers is much more appropriate than if we were funding a law enforcement animal.
Sure. I can find the need for a comfort dog in Southampton. I would be able to find the need for a canine unit in Southampton. But a comfort dog, absolutely. I've had plenty of times where it would have been very useful, especially with an increase in mental health calls, as well as, traumatic events with children.
So is there a motion to approve the MOU to officially enter into an agreement related to therapy dog Simba and authorize the chair of the select board to sign off on behalf of the select board after other signatures have been collected?
Make that motion.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have finalized select board committee liaison assignments.
I'm good with everything that was
I figured you would be.
laid out for me. I got off easy. You're the...
I somehow picked up a committee.
You did.
Yeah, the zoning board of appeals, but that's all right. So this, for the public, we're going to approach select board liaisons differently this year. Each committee and/or organization that has traditionally had a liaison, and those that have not, have been assigned a dedicated select board member. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 of which are voting positions. Those 12 positions, the committee member is to attend all meetings possible. The other ones, they should plan on attending quarterly, but those respective committees and chairs should feel free to reach out to that individual select board member should they have any questions or want to get select board support or feedback on any particular issues. And if we approve it tonight, we'll make it available, if it's not already, on the website and to all the committees and departments so they know who their liaison is.
Scott, could you scroll down so I can see my whole list? So, Water Commission, I'm elected by the citizens rather than appointed by the select board or by the charter of that particular committee.
Water Commission is one of the commissions that we've never had a liaison for. So since you're elected and you're the select board, you get it.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's an asterisk. Similarly, you're elected to the school committee, right?
Right.
Yeah. Just, these come about through different channels. And so this is good. This is the overall roadmap, but there's some detail that, as an incumbent, I'm trying to keep track of. I'm good. Any issues?
I'm good.
Who's going to move to approve?
I move we approve the liaison assignments.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Land use planning update.
I think I kind of spoiled it earlier, but we had a meeting, and I think we're going to move forward with a few different plan designs. They're going to do concepts, and we're going to probably do the final public hearing review, revealing everything kind of in the fall. So
Okay.
We will do a final public meeting.
yeah.
There will be a final product of dimension to be determined. We do need to narrow down to one plan that then will be more deeply explored and amplified by our planners. And towards that end, there's been a request for the contract committee, Scott, Randall, and myself, to get some feedback to the planners. And we need to figure out how we're going to coordinate the logistics of that. I met with planners following the group meeting, and they'd done some work incorporating ideas. And so, you know, in some ways it keeps widening out, and there's a collective need to narrow it back down so we can really dig deeper on a promising design. Doesn't mean that nobody will have any say. It's only to make it a richer example to present to the public in the fall.
Okay. Fiscal year 24 audit update.
Hasn't been a lot of movement on our end. Megan is still getting her feet wet and getting the office organized, so we're still waiting for that. We do have some potential personnel movement coming up shortly that will help with that. So,
Is there a quarterly meeting scheduled, to be scheduled, or is it not really feasible yet?
we definitely need one. I think I did ask for some dates from the Finance Committee and Select Board for, I think, early September. I'm going to finalize in the next couple of days because we need to definitely get ready for not only special town meeting,
Yes.
but we have a lot of financial stuff that are going to be coming up in the year. So it's going to be a...
Well, Chris is not here, so I'm going to just draw a line under that. We need to make it happen.
You need to get a hold of a lot of things.
I would prefer that particular meeting because of the volume of the material that's going to have to be briefed in a short period of time to get everyone up to speed, that it'd be in person and not a Zoom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. 250th anniversary, next event is August 23rd, which will be the main event, and there'll be band and food truck. Lucy already went into that, and there's still merchandise available for sale in the town clerk's office. Any other necessary business cannot wait until the next regular scheduled meeting of August 19th. Okay. We have a PCF that's before us. This PCF has not gone through PPPQ. Is there a necessity to bring it up tonight and for timing or anything, or is this just a placeholder?
I just received this on Friday and asked to put it on the agenda, so I haven't really even looked at it that much. So this is a person I know that Randall definitely needs in the highway department. So this would be the sixth and probably final hiring this year. We do have the 7.5 positions budgeted for, but Randall probably wasn't going to fill those for another couple months till the winter time anyways.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
The PQB would do what at this stage? 'Cause
They're supposed to vet it first before it gets to select board and determine whether or not it meets all the criteria. Specifically,
the candidate.
not necessarily the candidate, it's what the recommendation is. Here, it's a step 3.
The match. Okay.
To say, is that on the scale? I mean, given the fact that Robin probably assisted in preparing this document, I'm sure it's spot on.
Yeah.
But that's in essence what they did. Did they post? Yes, they did. Does the candidate appear to meet the qualifications? Yes. And if you're not starting on step 1, what's the justification for it?
And it's an established budgeted position. It's not something novel.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you're right. I'm assuming they should have budgeted at step 1, but because we're now into the fiscal year, there's justification or availability to move up, but that'll be a bigger impact in the next budget.
Sure.
So I don't know, I mean, it says an August 18th start date. The committee doesn't meet, or is not scheduled to meet, as far as I know, as it's the 3rd Thursday of the month, so we would not meet until the 21st. And if the hope is for this person to start on the 18th, and that there's a...
With apologies, PQB, I move that we take this out of turn and approve the new hire truck driver HEO at a rate of $27.52 per hour in the highway department. The person is Scott Hebert, and the credentials and supporting material are in our packet.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, and for the record, the reason why we're taking this up early is the department head has requested an appointment date that is prior to the next PPPQ meeting. Therefore, there must be an emergency to move this forward. All those, any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved. We have 3 sets of minutes to approve.
There is one correction. I can't remember which set of minutes, but I'm noted as having seconded several activities, but not listed as present nor absent. So if you just check those 3 sets and make sure that I'm present or absent, if that was the case, but I wasn't making motions those days. I move approval of June 3rd, June 24th, and July 8th minutes of the Select Board.
Second that.
Okay.
Really, I didn't see anything else,
So it looks like it is the June 24th meeting. We just, the amendment to that would be to determine whether or not Stephen was present or absent.
Okay, we can,
If he was absent, then we need to correct who seconded those motions. But my guess is he was here.
yeah, we can, I'll look at the videotape,
But, so we can approve some.
unless it was like an AI thing.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
yeah, that, I was here then.
Fiscal year 23 audit update.
We had to give some more information to CBIZ, just on the billing cycles of water, and we're just waiting for the final. They've asked nothing else. It's actually now a week late, so I got to push them a little bit more to get them in and finalize everything.
Okay. The ADA door openers, has the second one been ordered and or installed?
Bradley's just charging up the debit card right now,
Okay.
so that's just got to be done, then we'll install it.
Anything on those next 3 items?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Select Board meeting, August 19th, September 2nd, 16th, and 30th. I'm in Utah on the 19th, so if our chair is unable to return for that meeting, we will not have quorum.
I'm in Maine for the September 2nd.
Okay.
I will be absent on the 16th.
And we'll all be here on the
Well,
30th.
I'll be here on the 30th.
Glad we spread these things out. It works.
It's a tough
Especially if there's town meeting.
1, 2, 3, yeah, well, I'll join back up on the 30th.
Time to get a
The,
fifth select board member.
Well, I was just, and this is, I'm just going to say, I think the ballot, whenever that ballot comes up, we need to plan on putting the 5th select board member on that and see if we can get anybody to run for it. Okay.
I'm trying to think about people who are around my age, who are starting to think of retiring, and I'm hearing their retirement and thinking in my head who I can sidle up to.
We can go
So,
poach.
I'm thinking about that.
Okay. All right, there being nothing else in the public session, I move that we go into executive session under MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Number 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the public body, and that the chair so declares. The specific subject is health insurance. We will not be returning to public session. I make the motion. There's
Second.
Seconded. Roll call vote.
Johnson, aye?
Lumber, aye.
DeBruin, aye.
Very good. Time is 6:50, and we are in executive session.